Hello everybody, the greatest goblin that ever lived is here for another comic book review for this week of October 2014, excuse me. Got a pile of books here, pretty good week with a couple of hiccups, but other than that, let's just get right to it. We're going to start things off with the two indies here. We're going to start with Valiant Comics. We're going to start off with The Return of Quantum and Woody #1. It's Q2. Still the world's worst superhero team. Now, I got this. I ordered this here at Arkham Comics based on the simple fact that I loved the last Quantum and Woody series out of Valiant. However, this is not a continuation from that series. No. This feels more like a continuation from the original Quantum and Woody series. I read this and I was really disappointed. I got absolutely nothing from the more recent run from Quantum and Woody. You know, the stuff with the goat, none of that's in here. I never read the original Quantum and Woody series, but I got the impression that this continues from that instead of continuing from the awesomeness surrounding the Quantum and Woody that teamed up with the goat and all those, all that shit and everything. And I felt really let down. Thankfully, it's only a mini-series, and who knows, maybe the rest of the series will captivate me more than this did, but man, there's still some good lines in here, but the magic that I got from the most recent run, I didn't get any of it here. This was average at best, at the very best, an average read. Valiant, you let me down. 2.5. Moving on to IDW, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 39. I like that cover. Oh man, Eastman and Walt still killing it with the writing, and Santaloco, still easily the best artist on this series, bar none. Fucking awesome. Oh boy, where do I even begin with this? The Turtles meet the new recruits that Pigeon Pete had recruited. It's Bebop and Rocksteady. And I look at Bebop and Rocksteady in this issue, and I'm thankful. Bebop and Rocksteady, this is how I feel they should be done in a modern version, in a modern day storytelling with the Turtles. They should be badass. They should be intimidating. They should definitely be smarter than their 1980s counterparts. But I am digging this rendition of Bebop and Rocksteady. Digging it very well. They're thugs. They're intelligent. They're badass. They're very threatening. They have a very threatening presence. It's fucking awesome. I love it. It's great. The other selling point of this storyline so far is that the Turtles are still kind of distant from each other. Mainly Donatello. Donatello's vendetta against the Krang and has become obsessive to the point where he is literally ignoring his brother's problems. Damn. Just damn, Donnie. But wow, this issue was good. Was it the best? No. But it was solid. The writing was great. The pacing was great. The character development was great. Just awesome stuff. Very, very well done. I give it a 4. Moving on to DC. And with DC, we're starting off with Batman and Robin number 35. This is part 3 of Robin Rises. Look, I know Tomasi and Gleason are trying the best they can with this story, but this, I don't know. This one was a bit odd. The members of the Bat family, they're definitely learning how Bruce rolls, because I want to say they pull a Bruce in this issue. They really do. They pull a Bruce on the Justice League, and I'm not going to go into further detail about that. But Batman is on Apocalypse looking for Robin. He's looking for Damian. He's looking for his body and that Chaos Crystal that's everybody's been blabbing about. Meanwhile, there's a familiar face in here who is looking to help Darkseid return, and I'm not going to ruin who that is, although I think it's kind of obvious and a little predictable. But all in all, nicely done. Above average, just nowhere near perfect. I liked this whole sense of loyalty that the rest of the Bat family have to Bruce, despite all the shit Bruce put them through. You know, that shit with the Joker, still keeping secrets from him even though he promised he wouldn't. You know, and all that stuff. All in all, good stuff. Just not perfect. I give it a 3.5. Oh boy. Moving on to Batwoman 35. Fuck it. 2. I didn't care. Read that book. Batwoman, Clayface, Ragman, and her sister Alice. They're out in space for who the fuck knows why. All kinds of crazy, stupid shit's going on that it's like, where the fuck did this come from? And then the cliffhanger says, next issue, find out how we got here. Why the fuck do we need to find out how they got there later? Because you bring us into a new storyline abruptly, without any explanation. Why the fuck are they in space? Why are they doing all this stuff? Why are they in the dilemmas they in? What the fuck's going on with Kate and her personal life, her personal problems? Oh, forget about that. We just gotta have a massive team up in outer fucking space. Fuck you, DC. Moving on to Green Lantern New Guardians number 35. The life equation is beyond you, mortal. It is for the gods alone to wield. I gotta admit, this is part 4 of Act 1 of Godhead. And so far, this is the best part of the storyline so far. Because now the new gods have found the life equation in Kyle Rayner. Or at least the leader of the new gods, the High Father, has found Kyle. But when it comes to this, I read this and I thought to myself, the Guardians. Different Guardians, same fucking attitude. What's the soul saying? Once a dick, always a dick. I saw the Guardians acting more like their predecessors. I'm like, oh my God, please do not let us go back to that fucking shit. And then we get to the main selling point of the issue, which is the High Father and Kyle. And the stuff that the High Father says. Yeah, I too believe that some of the shit he's saying is indeed bullshit. But at the same time, I want to believe him. I want to believe that, you know, Kyle Rayner is holding the power that could ultimately stop Darkseid. I want to believe that. Do I believe it? I don't know. But like I'm saying, I want to believe it. Good storytelling. Good dramatic storytelling near the end. This was good. This was really good. Give it. It's the best part. It's my favorite part of the storyline so far, but there's still a lot of shit in here that just kind of bothered me. Like I said, with the Guardians and everything. So that kind of hurt it for me. But the stuff with Kyle and the High Father, that got my attention and it kept it. I highly recommend this issue. I'll give it a 3.5 as well. Oh man, now we're on to Marvel. Starting off with my pick of the week, guys. Daredevil, number 9. Holy shit. You want to talk about some creepy shit. You want to talk about some dark stuff. Matt meets the children of the Purple Man. Oh boy. Wow. Just interesting shit. And somebody makes a return in this issue, and the way he comes back, I'm like, ugh. Man, this was good. This was damn good. Mark Waid still working that magic. I mean, I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. It's magic. And Mark Waid has it. And I love it when he spreads this magic. I mean, this was awesome. Very good stuff. Daredevil, at the end of this issue, is left laying on the ground, shivering and whimpering. He can't move. He can't breathe. Ooh. And then that last page. Damn. This was damn chilling. Damn impressive with the writing. The artwork was great. The dark shading surrounding some parts of the storytelling was a nice touch. This was great. I give it a 4. Next up, we got Edge of Spider-Verse, number 5. Wow. This was different. This was actually much more different than I expected it to be. I mean, to me, this felt like Spider-Man meets Metroid. Sort of. What I mean by that is, this particular variation on Spider-Man, Spider, is actually a girl. A young girl. Her name is Penny Parker. Now, it's implied. It's never actually said. But there's hints in here that makes you believe, is this Peter Parker's daughter? In this dimension. This is an alternate reality. But is this Peter Parker's daughter? Because she meets her Aunt May and her Uncle Ben? Or it was her father, Richard Parker, or what? You know, it's like, she is a Parker. And we get to see all kinds of different variations of classic Marvel characters. You know, we get to see just 2 actually. We get to see a different version of Daredevil, and we get to see a very different yet very unique and pretty cool looking Mysterio in here. I actually kind of dug Mysterio in this issue, and I'm like, huh. Kind of makes me wonder if they would do Mysterio like that on the big screen. Just think about that. They could. But in all sense, this was actually not that bad. Of course, the two big cameos at the end of the issue, I was kind of like, at the end. But all in all, this wasn't bad. It was different from what I expected, but not bad. I give it a 3. Alright, moving along to Miles Morales, The Ultimate Spider-Man, number 6. Bendis! My God, where are you pulling these ideas? Oh my God. Brian Michael Bendis has been writing Ultimate Spider-Man since the very moment it began. When it comes to Ultimate Spider-Man, there's only been one writer, Bendis. And he's been consistent with it on and on, year after year after year after year. I'm kind of wondering, it makes me actually think about something here. It's not a riddle, it's just a flat out logic question. Has Bendis had a longer run on Ultimate Spider-Man than Jeff Johns did on Green Lantern? I'm kind of thinking he has. Now, I'm not 100% sure if he has or not. However, this particular issue was really interesting, and interesting in a good way. After what happened to Norman Osborn in the last issue, I kind of expected what happened to happen a little bit, just not in the way it happened. Spoilers, minor. He's not dead. I expected him to heal over, but I expected there to be a healing factor or something involved. But the twist that they used in this, I was like, really? Really? You're going to go there? And then this whole thing with Peter Parker. Now I'm really starting to question it. Is this really Peter? Is it a clone? Who knows? At this point, I still don't know. But there's the there's the good thing. You keep this particular part of the angle up in the air to keep the readers guessing, thus they want to keep reading. Is it really Peter? Is it a clone? We still don't know. We still haven't had that big answer. At this point now, I'm actually 50-50 on it. It might be Peter. It might be a clone. If it is Peter, considering the shit that Norman Osborn says in this, I wouldn't really be that shocked if it actually is Peter. Yet at the same time, I wouldn't really be shocked if it is a fucking clone. Who the fuck knows? You gotta keep reading to understand. You gotta keep reading to get your answer. It's part of the suspense. You keep building and you keep building on this story. Where is this going to go? This is really good stuff when you really look at it from that perspective. They keep leaving you with so many questions unanswered. They do give you some payoffs, but yet still leave things up in the air to make you say, oh, I got to keep reading it because I got to know about this or I got to know about that. That is one of the things that makes a comic really work, is that they always leave something up in the air that makes you want to get the next issue that much more. Really, really good job with that, Mr. Bendis. Especially that damn cliffhanger. Oh, god damn it. Now I've got to get the next issue. I have to. This was really good. Really good. This would have been my pick of the week had Daredevil not came out. This is really good. I give it a 4. Moving on to Spider-Man 2099, number 5. This is a tie-in to Edge of Spider-Verse, but very unique tie-in. You would think, Spider-Verse and Edge of Spider-Verse, we're targeting different variations of Peter Parker, but that doesn't mean old Miguel here needs to be left out. This particular tie-in to Edge of Spider-Verse deals with different variations of Miguel O'Hara, alternate Earths. You see, Moreland is in this issue, and he's going around killing different alternate reality versions of Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099. And there's even a different variation of Miguel who is actually with Mary Jane. Don't know if they're married or not, but who fucking cares now? Because, oh god, if you say they're married, then Joe Quesada will piss in his panties and want to retcon it. But, yeah, there seems, and every time a different Miguel O'Hara gets killed, the Miguel O'Hara here on 616, or any other Miguel O'Hara, they feel it. They feel an alternate version of themselves. When they die, they feel it. That's interesting. That wasn't touched on in any of the other issues of Edge of Spider-Verse or any other parts of this story. When a Spider-Man dies, there was no referencing or anything that made the other Spider-Men actually feel it. But in here, this is an interesting twist. When a Miguel O'Hara dies, they feel it. They don't know why they feel it. They don't know what it is that makes them feel it. They don't even know what it is that they're feeling. But they feel it. And it's painful. excruciatingly painful. I loved that particular point of this storytelling. Very good. But there's something about Moreland here that's pointed out very obviously, and I can't spoil what it is. All I will say is that it has something to do with the 616 universe. And once you read this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. This was an incredible read. I mean, damn. I think this, Daredevil, and Miles Morales were on the grips of being Pig of the Week. But I'm saying Daredevil beat both Miles and this, but not by much. This was a fascinating read. A fascinating take on the edge of Spider-Verse, dealing with, when a Miguel O'Hara dies, every other Miguel O'Hara at the same time can feel it. They're all connected. And it's just really, really good. This was awesome. I give it a 4. Alright. Moving on to Uncanny X-Men number 27, Bendis and Bocciolo. Is it just me, or is Chris Bocciolo's artwork getting better on this series? Man, this was good artwork-wise. Storytelling, not so much. The storytelling in here was good for what it was. Matthew Malloy, this new Omega level mutant that I think would even make the Phoenix quiver in fear. This guy is insanely powerful. But the X-Men do something very bold to try and get through to him. I mean bold. They try something to get through to him, but he sees right through it. And by the end of this issue, I swear to fucking God, this motherfucker right here, Cyclops, is fucking Magneto! He's Magneto! I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't care. Scott Summers, Dick Summers, Cyclops, Slim, who the fuck cares? He is basically the modern day Magneto. I look at the shit he says. I watch the shit he does. It's the same exact shit that Magneto was doing when he was in his fucking prime as the quintessential X-Men villain before he became a fucking X-Man. He's Magneto. He's a fucking villain. You don't like my opinion on that, get the fuck over it. He's a goddamn villain. It's just how Marvel is painting him up. At least that's how it feels to me. This was good for what it was. 3.5. I'm not going to say anything else. Just pick this up and take a look at it. Whether you want to buy it or not, that's up to you. But at least give it a look. 3.5. We're ending this with a tribute to Wolverine with Wolverine The X-Men number 10. A whole laundry list of people worked on this issue. And I give credit to all of them. However, with all due respect, some of the artists that worked on this issue, your artwork just didn't work for me. There were a lot of parts in this issue where I looked at the artwork and I went, oh my fucking God, really? As far as this whole as a tribute or a tie-in to the Death of Wolverine thing, which, by the way, I have read Death of Wolverine. I've read it digitally, and I'll be reviewing it I'll be reviewing it on my Blugoblin X channel, so stay tuned for that. Cheap plug. But I look at this as two things. One is a tribute to Logan, of course, but also, excuse me, but also as a retrospect of Wolverine, not just in his days with the X-Men, but his days as, the headmaster of the Jean Grey School. It's a retrospect of both the good and the bad from Wolverine, and I thought it was well done, well told. Not all the artwork worked for me. And yeah, I know you're probably expecting me to gripe about the $5 price tag. I don't mind it this time because they really tried their best to make this seem like it was worth $5, which storytelling-wise, it is. Artwork-wise, hell no. But it is what it is. It was a fitting touch for Logan, the retrospect and everything. I thought it was very respectful to the character for the most part. I give it a 3. Well, that's all I got, everybody, for this week in comics. Had a couple of hiccups, but all in all, I thought this was a pretty solid week. So please subscribe, post your comments, let me know what you thought about these books. What did you think? What did you think of my opinions on it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I want to hear some feedback. Please subscribe to this channel. Don't forget Blugoblin X. I have just I finally posted the 27th installment of the Midtown Comic Stash. Go check that out. I need to read the next pile of books that Chris sent me. TheMtVernonKid, my bro. Cheap plug for you, bro. I need to get those books read, and I also need to review Death of Wolverine. Don't forget my bro, TheMtVernonKid. Don't forget my old buddies Deadpoolzilla and Brandon Hex as well. Hex is pumping out some pretty good videos here, especially with Death of Wolverine and Crisis on Infinite Earths. I'm liking those. And don't forget, please don't give up on Arkham Asylum Studio. I promise, we're looking for stuff to do. I know it's taken us 40 goddamn forevers to do something on there. I know. But trust me, the channel is not dead. We just haven't found anything to do for it. So it's not dead. Don't give up on it. It's still going. We just need to do something for it. That's all. Thanks for watching, everybody. And until next time, I'll see you all later.